Well, good evening, everybody. Brian Martin here with you, and going to do a little demonstration of the between the seasons aging process from Tom Kerwin's terrific roll your own system. I created for those of you that haven't been following along, I created a 6-team United States Basketball Association, 10 players per team, and all the players were rolled up according to Tom's system. We finished the first season. Pittsburgh Blast wound up winning the championship, and now we're in between seasons. The rookie class has been created and has been drafted. We didn't go through that process because that's rolling up a player. That's something that I can do next season. But I thought, let's go through the aging guide and show how this is done and see how the process works. So what I've done, it's going to be hard to see the cards because I don't want to zoom in too much, although I'm going to see what I can do about zooming in just a little bit here. See if that does anything for me here. Well, that... Okay, you might not be able to see the actual ratings, but you'll see that the card has a number of ratings on it, etc. So what happens is now, based on the player's age, we roll 2d6. I'm gonna have this. You can see the dice rolling in here, and you roll 2d6, and you look at the age chart depending on the player's age, and then you roll on the table. The table then tells you what it is going to happen to this player. It can be good, can be bad. Doubles will take you to the bigger changes chart, and I'll explain those if and when they happen. So let's go through first. We've got Glenn Preston for Baltimore, and he has 5 play qualities, 1 rebound quality, and 5 shot qualities. He is age 23. He'll be 24 now, I've advanced the ages of everybody. He's 24 years old now. So let's roll up the dice here. And the roll is a 34, reading the black die first. And it says, hours in the gym, shooting long ones, add 1 shot quality and underline it. So normally you would just roll on the table. You can roll on the table to figure it out. Well, he only has 1 shot quality that he doesn't already have, and that is the, I have to look at my spreadsheet here. That is the tip quality. So he doesn't have tip. So what we're going to do is we're going to give him the tip quality. Let me do a couple things here with my spreadsheet. There we go. So he has the tip shot, but he now has it as an underlined quality. So we add that to his, I'm adding it to his card data for his new card. So he has underlined tip. So now he has all 6 shot qualities, and 4 of them are underlined. So Glenn Preston going to be a beast from a scoring perspective. So now we go to Jamal Lambert. Glenn, by the way, Preston was a starter last year. Jamal Lambert was a first-line substitute. 2 play qualities, 2 rebound qualities, 3 shot qualities. He is going to be 23 years old in the coming season, so he rolls on the same chart that the last player did. 13 is the number. It says, older teammate mentors player and teaches tricks to steal more passes. Add D quick rating or underline. So if he already has the quick rating, he does not have it, so he's going to add a D quick rating. So we go over to a spreadsheet now, and we're going to add the fact that he has a quick rating. It's defensive in nature, so it gets a particular thing there, and now he is a quick player. The next guy up is Russell Williams. Williams is a 22-year-old rookie guard, so I'm playing that rookies are not affected by the between-season aging process because they have already been rolled up, and they already come into the league with a certain amount of skills. So we're not going to roll additionally and give him any additional benefit. Next up is Clinton Bell. Bell was a starter last year. He's a guard, 25 years of age, so he'll roll once again on this up to 26-year-old thing. The roll is cracked die. 51. Player gets carried away watching offensive highlights. Remove 1 star play quality and make offense only, no underline. He has star skill and star power. So one of these is just going to be offense only with no underline. And that's going to, he's kind of regressing here. So what we're going to do is, because he has 2 qualities, we'll do 1 to 3 is his skill, and 4 to 6 is his power. It's a 6, so he loses his star on power, and he's just going to be a regular power player and make offense only. So we're going to give him, change his thing to a T. And I say T because small t becomes a triangle, capital H becomes a star, little n becomes a square in the programming that I use in Affinity Publisher to print the proper symbols. So he's an offense-only power as opposed to, so he has taken a step back. Brings us to Daryl Harris. Harris, 5 offensive, or 5 play qualities, 3 rebound, 2 shot. He is a center. He was a starter last year. He is now 26 years old, so he will once again roll on the same chart as everyone else has, a 32. Hard work pays off, player adds 1 shot quality. So there are 4 potential shot qualities that he can add. We can go to the scoring. We can go to the actual rules, but we're not going to do that. He has 4 qualities. What we're going to do is we're going to take a D8. I got to find a D8 here. Hang on a second, everyone. Got to find a D8 if I can find it. Got all kinds of dice, but I can't find my D8. Bear with me, please. I got D10s coming out the wazoo. Don't have a D8. Let me see if I can find one over here in this bag. Tons and tons and tons of dice. And nary a drop to drink. A D12 would even be helpful. And a D12. A D20. All right, so I have a D20. So multiples of 5. 1 to 5, he will get the, let's see, 1 to 5, he will get the yes quality. 6 to 10, he'll get net. 11 to 15, he'll get arc. And he'll get, he'll get net, arc, tip, or big. Just divide by 5. Here's the roll. It's a 13, so it's the 3rd selection. So Daryl Harris will get the tip shot, just a normal tip shot. I'm adding that to his data set, and so he'll have tip then on his card. Brings us to the big man for Baltimore, Luther Banks, forward, 26 years of age, big starter last year for Baltimore, probably their best player overall. And now he's 26, so again, he will roll on this same chart. And he rolls a 33, so it goes to the bigger changes chart. So big potential changes. Could be great, could be awful. Let's see what happens to Luther Banks, 54. After head bump, double vision hidden from team, remove 2 shot chances by rolling on creation guide. Well, he only has 3. He only has 3 shot chances anyway. Arc, tip, and wow. So what we're going to do, he's going to lose 2 of those 3. That's huge. And we'll just do the regular D6 here. 1 to 2, he loses arc. 2 to, well, let's roll for the 1 to 2 arc, 3 to 4 tip, 5 to 6 wow. This is the one he'll keep. The roll is a 6, he keeps wow. So he loses arc and he loses tip for next season. So he's down to 1 scoring chance. That is huge. He had the best card mainly on the play side. So Banks is going to be in trouble. Might regress here in the next year. Michael Brooks, 26-year-old forward. So we go back to the 26-year-old chart. A lot of guys under the age 30, under the age 26 or under. 52, late season hammer under the hoop still hurts. Remove 1 level of reach quality. If none, no change this year. He has no reach quality, so he loses nothing. So Brooks stays the same as he has up to this point. Brings us to Wade Cummings. Cummings was a backup last year. 4 play qualities, 3 rebound, 3 shot qualities. He's 29 years old, so he's going to roll on the 27 and over chart. So our first roll on a chart that's not, Tom calls it his geezer's chart, and that's okay. The roll is 53, New coach, bad habits. Player loses touch on long shots. Remove one shot, underline. If none, no changes this year. He has no underline shot, so no changes for him. So 2 guys in a row get lucky. Alvin Bell, one of the more talented backup players on Baltimore, and he's the last player now because the rookies, of course, don't have anything happen to them. 30-year-old forward. So he's going to roll on the geezers chart, and we'll see what happens to him. He actually could be a starter this year. 16 is the player over 30. He is not over 30. He's 30. So if yes, remove one rebound quality, but he's not over 30, and so he has nothing happen to him. So Baltimore comes away fairly unscathed except for Luther Banks, and we'll see how that affects Baltimore. I will tell you that Baltimore's rookies are Russell Williams, who has, I got to look at my sheet here. Russell Williams is a guard, 22 years old. He has 5 playmaking qualities, 2 rebound qualities, and 6 shot qualities, including an underlined big. He also is he's a clover on that on his ref thing. And Gilbert Thompson, 22-year-old center, was the number 1 pick in the draft because he has 8 playmaking qualities, 6 rebounding qualities, 4 shot qualities. He has a starred quick. He has a starred underlined reach. He has an underlined power, and he has an offense smart. In the rebounding area, he has leap. He has underlined grab. He has snag and underlined pick. And for shots, he has net, arc, big, and wow, and he's a circle star. So Gilbert Thompson could be the guy that really moves forward and becomes a starter for Baltimore. So that, I'm not going to do all the teams in the league because there's still 5 more teams to go, but that's an idea of how the changes are applied. And if you have a program that you can use, like Affinity Publisher with a data set, all you're doing is adding and subtracting data set elements, changing them, creating them, deleting them, adding them, by using the dice rolls that are available to you in the process. And so that's a simple way of doing it. It takes a little while to do because you have to read the results, have to apply them properly. As you can see, sometimes a guy doesn't get affected because he doesn't have a quality or an underline or a star or whatever, and so you can't change him. So not every roll is a change. Not every roll is a great change. Not every roll is a bad change. Or you can have a Luther Banks who loses 2 shot qualities of the 3 that he already possessed, and so he's pretty good from a playmaking standpoint for a forward. But he's going to play. If he continues to play for Baltimore as a starter, he's probably going to shift over to the small forward position and allow someone like a Michael Brooks or Wade Cummings to take over and become the scoring threat in the power forward position. We'll see how that happens. But Gilbert Thompson certainly should be the starting center. Russell Williams certainly should be the starting guard for Baltimore. But that's how you work it. Update your data fields and keep moving forward. And that's how everything works with the system. I will tell you, since we're finished with this piece, and you only get to see it, you get to see a small part of it, not the whole deal. Tom's system is really, 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 really good. It created 6 fairly balanced teams. I felt Baltimore was 7-13 on the season. The league leaders, Pittsburgh, were 14-6. So yeah, you could argue that's a 7-game swing between first and last place. But that's not really too unusual. Baltimore had a bad stretch during the middle part of the season. They lost like 6 in a row. But I think the teams were fairly balanced. And if the cards had gone a different way, I could see any of the teams, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, and Baltimore, all finished under 500, actually coming up and winning another game or two and getting closer to 500 on the season. Pittsburgh and Detroit were just superior to other teams. They got the good rolls. They got the cards went their way. And even between Detroit and Pittsburgh, they went 3 games in the final. They split 2 games apiece during the regular season. They were pretty close in terms of quarter points scored. It was as close as 2 teams could ever get. So the system did not create a powerhouse team that just ran away with everything. It was a season that was a competitive one, and the new rookies will get a chance to see how they change the teams and the compositions of the teams that they play for, and we will see how that works as we move forward in the regular season. But it's a really good system. If you don't have the how-to guide, either because you don't want to pay for it, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but you just don't want to buy it because you don't think you're going to really rate your own teams, this is as close to having the system as you can. I will tell you, you cannot reverse engineer the how-to guide from Tom's tables and charts. They're based on other factors in terms of play qualities and things like that, and everything's done at random. So you really don't get a sense of, you couldn't take his charts and reverse yourself into what earns a player the different ratings that they have or how the qualities are determined, because the qualities are determined in a different way than they are here. And so you won't be able to reverse engineer into it. But if you don't want to spend the money on the how-to guide because you don't want to rate your own, you don't really want to rate your own teams, but you really want a fictional, immersive experience and games that play quickly and seasons that you can actually finish fairly quickly, then this is the system for you. It created some really good teams. It created some really good rookies. There was from a quality standpoint, we had a player that had 18 qualities. We had a player that had 9, and everything in between. So there were varying player quality in terms of the draft class of season 2. So I think the system works real well. I think to me the best part of this the system in my mind is because the game plays so quickly. 12 to 17 minutes to play a full game. If you're not doing any kind of statistical checks or anything like that, or you don't have a point scoring system, 12 to 17 minutes to play a game. In an hour, you can play 4 games. A couple of hours, you can knock off 6, 7 games and knock out a chunk of your schedule. A 60-game schedule did not take me all that long to play. The playoffs were a breeze. I played the whole playoffs in one night, 5 games in like less than an hour. And so this is between the play of the game and the system that Tom has created, you can set yourself up with a league that can really last for a long time. I have a league going with History Maker Baseball. That between season process is one of my own creation. It takes a little longer, but I'm almost ready to do that. The problem is I play 90 games there. Baseball takes longer because you're playing each batter by batter. But History Highlight Maker Hoops makes for an absolutely terrific, immersive basketball experience. I am a huge stat fan, but I did not miss not keeping stats other than the game scores. The game feels like basketball. It has runs. A team wins 3 or 4 track points in a row and gets a big lead, and then the other team gets 2 or 3 track points in a row, or they trade track points for a few cards back and forth, or one team's ahead by 2, then the other team ties it and they go ahead by 1. Then the other team goes ahead by 2, and it had all sorts of games, had 5 overtime games, had 5 or 6 games go to the final minute. And so in a 60-game season, I had all the highs and lows, the ebbs, the flows that you can have in any other basketball game, but in a 12 to 17 minute time frame. And this system created really fairly balanced teams on the face of it, and you will not go wrong using this system. And so I hope my look into how the aging charts work and how they're used and how we go about doing that was valuable to you. So I thank you, as always, for watching. And until next time, I wish each and every one of you good night, good basketball, good gaming. We'll talk to you again soon. So long, everybody.